Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time, we got through the third floor of the secret base, and we confronted Sislak and managed to rescue Erica. And we got a new medal from it. This time, we're going to head to the final room and finally confront Dr. Armand. So let's hop in the conveyor belt and let's get to it. Alright, so, first off, in this room, all the fights take place in the Cyber battlefield, meaning that you will not be getting any penalties or bonus depending on which leg part you're using. Also, we have a few returning Medabots. Digmol is now available as a random fight here, as well as Moai. So before we do anything else, let's actually talk to this scientist right here, because believe it or not, he's actually quite important. Hey Iki, I figured you would come here. Who are you again? All your researchers look the same. It's me, the researcher who gave you the Minias wheel and the periscope. What are you doing here? I can do better research here than if I were at Medabots Corporation. That means, more commonly called a spy. A spy? Then why did you cooperate with me? Are you going to win? Or is the doctor going to win? I am very interested in this match. Good luck in the final battle. And we got the leg meta part Singer. That is the leg part for Draken, and believe it or not, that's actually quite useful in the upcoming fight. Thank you, I'll take this. But I still don't think that what you did was right. Ha 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 ha! Like the blossom of justice scatters the vine of evil, the Phantom Lady has arrived. I found you, spy. Give yourself up. Phantom Lady? You despicable traitor. It was you, wasn't it? You were the one who sent the top secret data to Dr. Armand. Don't you realize this is all your fault? A traitor? That's a little harsh. I am working just as hard for the Medabots Corporation. How dare you say such shameless things? Phantom Lady, this isn't the time to be saying stuff like that. Exactly. While you're standing here talking, the doctor is already moving on. What's that supposed to mean? I'll let you be going now. I'm giving the door key to Lady. Oh, I'm not going to forgive you. I'll let you be on your way. Show me a wonderful fight. Alright, let's actually talk to him one more time. I can't wait to see the last fight. I rigged it to be very interesting. Huh? Oh, nothing. Never mind me. Why don't you get going? So, quite interesting. And this scientist is... well, we'll go into more detail about what he really is. Before that though, I actually want to equip the leg parts for Singer. There we go. And also you may have noticed that I have a few different Medabot setups here. Trust me, they'll come into play in a moment. Also, I did went back and rename a few of the medals. I renamed the Unicorn medal to Margarita, even though I know that you do technically get it from Hachiro, but yeah. So, yeah. So, I highly suggest... hold on. I highly suggest that you save right here before you talk to the Phantom Lady, because as soon as you do, well, you're in for a tough fight. But I think we're ready. Where is Dr. Armand? Iki, are you alright? Phantom, you came! You're a little late, renegade. Oh, Lady, why are you here? That's a dumb question. You can't do it on your own. Phantom Lady, that's enough out of you. You think so? Whoa, the Phantom Renegade and the Phantom Lady started arguing. Just pawns in Dr. Aki's game. You finally come out! I won't let you talk bad about Dr. Aki. Doctor, Why did you manipulate the Robo Gang for evil? Why didn't you think to do something good for others, like Dr. Aki? You just don't see the beauty in it. A scientist must devote his entire being to the pursuit of the unknown. It's a waste to try and speak to him. I'll take him on. Not that easily, you won't. Well... Eeh! What the? It looks like my hungry little children are causing trouble again. Wait, Dr. Mera Evil. Alright, let's see what's up. Is this the Robo Emperor? No. This feeling. This power. Is this thing really a Medabot? So, do you know who that was? Robo Emperor? The Robo Emperor was the Robo Gang's masterpiece. But 7 years ago a boy, all by himself, managed to defeat it. 7 years ago? Oh, I know! I remember the last time this happened. Nobody knew about the existence of the limiter back when Robo Emperor went out of control. But I, the brilliant scientist Dr. Mera Evil, I alone discovered a way to manipulate the limiter. The now improved Mega Emperor exceeds all powers and skills known at this time. Even more than the Robo Emperor. This time, I'm in complete control. Different from 7 years ago, isn't it? Do you think your puny Medabots can win? Silence! Destroy them, Mega Emperor! Iggy, just stand back and watch a master metafighter at work. Yes sir, Mr. Phantom. Go, Metabee! It's time to kiss your butt goodbye! Nice little nod to the anime. You did it! Holy Medaroli! That was a good try, but it's not over yet. It's not possible! They weren't supposed to be able to move! Henry! What? Did you say Henry? I'm sorry, Kirara. Just don't say anything. Kirara? Doctor, what have you done? Medabots are not supposed to attack people on purpose. The limiter. Oh, so what is that? Dr. Aki told me all about it. When the limiter on a Medabot's control system is removed, the Medabot, loses total control and stops obeying humans. That is why we must never remove the limiter. Never! Ever. Dr. Mera Evil, it was you! Whoa, wait, you're mistaken. I'm still... Limiter released. I heard a voice in my head, what? This cannot be! I was in prefect control... Alright, this game could really use a spell check in a few areas. Robo Emperor! I think you mean Mega Emperor. Obey me! Grar! Doctor! It's even attacked the doctor! But are you the one who made it? Can you do anything? There's nothing I can do anymore! Nothing can stop it! Oh no! Your vanity is the cause of all of this. This kind of metal technology is not meant for human hands yet. Iggy, run! It's my turn! Wait, Kirara. I believe in Iggy's abilities. A boy like him will someday help create the future of both Medabots and humans alike. Just like Dr. Aki said. And we have to help guide him towards that destiny. I'm not going to run away. People who believe in me are waiting. This way, Mega Emperor! Come fight with me! It is foolish to block my way. Alright, the Mega Emperor. So for this fight, I do not recommend that you use either Metabee or Rokusho, and if you have to use them or if you really want to use them, do not place them as your leader, and I'll explain why in a moment. So for this fight I'm going to place Yanagi. As you can see, I changed a few parts, specifically the arms. We'll mostly be using Hunter because, well, the Mega Emperors are actually quite weak to shot traps. Aside from that, I will have Metabee as my secondary, and then finally the Margarita Medabot as our third. And you'll understand why. So, Mega Emperor. It is, in many ways, supposedly an upgraded version of Robo Emperor, even though if you actually compare the power-up stats, it is slightly weaker, but it does have a higher rate of success, and some of its parts actually have a lower charge by. So the head part, Death Break, it is pretty much a slightly weaker version in a way of the head part of Robo Emperor. The same applies for Death Missile and Death Laser, though Death Laser is slightly faster than Death Beam, and also keep in mind that both the Mega Emperor and Robo Emperor are multi-legged types, meaning that they would usually get a boost in speed if we were fighting in rocky field or valley fields. And when we last fought the Robo Emperor, the battlefield was desert, meaning that it was getting a penalty in speed. That is no longer the case here. Cyber, as I mentioned many times, will not give you a penalty or a boost, meaning that even though Death Laser is the slowest move that it can perform, it is not nearly as slow to actually not be useful, so be very careful about that. Now, every single Mega Emperor actually has a different medal. The leader, in this case, has the KUWAGATA medal, meaning that it has access to Spiral Bolt, Side Bolt, and maybe Proximity Up. The second Medabot, the second Mega Emperor, has the KABUTO medal, meaning that it may perform Ultra Shot, Damage Ball, or Cancel Formation. And finally, the third one has the Bear medal, meaning that it has access to Gravity Form, Absorb Gravity, and Leg Crash. Now, the first two are the most dangerous. Why? Well, because they start the fight, well, all three of them start the fight with a full Metaforce gauge, because Dr. Armor removed the limiter. And they will not hesitate to use it. And in fact, the very fact that they have the KUWAGATA and KABUTO medals is what makes using Metabee or Rokusho as your leader quite dangerous, because if you place Metabee as your main Medabot, then the Mega Emperor with the KUWAGATA medal will prioritize him. And if you do the same for Rokusho, well, the same applies, but only to the second Medabot. As for strategy, as I mentioned before, we will be using shot traps because they are quite vulnerable to that. Metabee will deal damage in any way that he can. And the third Medabot here. We have some red lace parts for shot trap, and we have one of Draken's arms, because we're going to bind the Metaforce. It's not that hard to actually make it to the center before they can perform, and the first two Medabots always start the fight, the first two Mega Emperors always start the fight by using the Metaforce, so if you bind it before they can, they will waste their turn basically, though the third one will always attack, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to use Force Bind once, and then set up shot traps with Hat Trick. Hopefully it will reach a point in which they end up destroying themselves. I'm going to speed this up, and the Mega Emperor fight has a unique theme, and it's quite good. Not as good as the boss theme, but it's quite decent. So I'm going to let it play on the background. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'll see you guys in a moment. can't believe I lost to older types. Though I have to say we were actually incredibly lucky. We got a headshot almost in the beginning and it was a crit. Yeah, but with the proper setup, Mega Emperor is not as tough. Though don't be fooled, you can quite easily lose. And as you saw, Metabee was destroyed before we ended the fight. And we got a ton of EXP and the medal level up. Grr, now you die! Oh, I'm sorry, you thought we were finished? No, we're not. We have to fight him twice! Though this is actually a decent opportunity to switch over to the Rokusho version, because believe it or not, there's actually a way to pretty much cheese the Mega Emperor even more than what we just did. So I'm going to take this opportunity to show you that. So I'm going to quickly switch over and I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, welcome back. So, what is this method that I keep talking about? Well, it's not 100% foolproof, but basically what you want to do is you want as your leader what I call the cancel bot. It is pretty much any male Medabot with a Moai, Golem and Hanimo parts. Because once you seal off the Metaforce, this Medabot is pretty much indestructible. So you want him as your leader. And then you want to have your other two Medabots pretty much setting up traps and then binding the Metaforce. So it's almost identical to the other way, only that in theory your leader does nothing. He'll charge the Metaforce, but it can't really use it. And then you have your other two Medabots just using Shot Trap, binding, and then continuing Shot Trap. Eventually, as you reinforce the trap, which I don't know if I mentioned this the first time, but that actually increases the damage that it deals. Every single time that one of the Mega Emperor attacks, they will lose a part. So eventually they will destroy themselves, as we just saw. So regarding this second fight, technically it's supposed to be the same, but it always felt slightly tougher, even though nothing has really changed. The only real thing that really changed, that doesn't really matter all that much, is that the two Mega Emperors with the KABUTO and KUWAGATA medals, they switched places, meaning that right now the leader is the one with the KABUTO medal. But other than that, it is exactly the same. So the fight is the same. I'm just going to speed it up, and I'll see you guys in a moment. And welcome back. Human scum! So this is where I really thought the first time I played this that the third fight would happen, but you don't. I was really sure they had to fight him 2 times, but I imagined that there would be a third fight because there were 3 Mega Emperor models. Anyways, this wasn't supposed to happen! Everything that I've done, it's going to be ruined! Doctor, it's over! My research, my ambitions! You will be obliterated with them! Nothing will remain! Doctor! Ah! Alright, before we talk to Kirara and... sorry, the Phantom Lady and Henry, I want to quickly switch over to the Metabee version. And that is because we have one more fight left in, well, at the very least in this episode, and I really want to do it with Metabee. So I'm going to quickly switch over, though you won't really tell because I'll be standing in the same position. I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, welcome back. So let's quickly talk to the Phantom Lady. Iggy, get out of here! The doctor has definitely pushed the self-destruct switch. But I told you not to worry about us. There are people waiting for you, aren't there? Now get out! Alright. Well, I'll see you again later, right? Promise me. Of course. And sadly, we don't really get to talk to Henry. But anyway, let's quickly ignore this fight. And let's talk to this particular scientist. Thanks for showing me. That was a superb fight, Iggy. You devastated the Mega Emperor. If we don't hurry, this place is gonna be blown to bits. You're exaggerating a bit much there, Iggy. It's true, come on, let's get out of here. It's okay, you don't have to push me. Shouldn't you tell the others instead? You're right. Okay, I'll see you later. So, this guy right here, he clearly knows way more than he's letting on. And if you recall, we learned from Fountain Lady that he actually gave the information. He's a spy. He gave the information to Dr. Armon so that he could, quote-unquote, upgrade Mega Emperor and remove the limiter. And yet he also said how he rigged the fight in a way. So it's entirely possible that maybe with the data that he gave Dr. Armon, that Dr. Armon should have been able to utilize the Mega Emperor without ever losing control. So maybe he sabotaged him. Either way, it was all for his very own ambition. He really wanted to see the fight and see the results. Aside from that, we don't really know if he has any higher purpose, but in a way he did manipulate Dr. Armon, the same way that Dr. Armon manipulated the Rubber Robo Gang. So this guy is the real mastermind behind everything. Anyways, I neglected to mention previously the strange creature in the glass. That is because we couldn't really do much with it, but now we can. It's an amazing device. This is where the Mega Emperor was sleeping. Wait, Iggy, you can't touch that! Touch what? Ah! I'm not gonna do the baby sounds. What the? Now you gone and done it. You woke up my poor little baby. Your what? What the heck is that? It's a baby Medabot that is still in development. It's named Baby Blue. Isn't it cute? There. I woke you up, didn't I? This is your fault, so you're going to babysit. Huh? Babysit? I'm not so good with kids. I mean, this is not the time for... Well, you did beat the Robo Emperor and all. But you may be no match for a crying child. Well, good luck. So long. Hey, wait! Who are you? Where are you going? Alright, so we have a new fight. And as you can see, we also have yet another Mega Emperor. We're not quite done with the Emperors. Alright, let's get to it. So for this fight, I do highly recommend that you have at least 2 of your 3 Medabots with a either Victory Armor, Finale, or any part with stability. And you'll see why in a moment. In this case, I'm going to have Metabee, Yanagi, and... and Spider. Sorry, Bat. So, Baby Blue. It is a rather interesting Medabot. It is a pure support Medabot. The head part, Fracture, it has the Force Bind ability, which it will use, and oddly enough, it actually ends up working in your favor, at least at the very beginning of the fight. Aside from that, the Past Touch arm has the Confusion ability. This is why I was suggesting that you have Victory Armor or Finale. Then it has the Boost Charge ability with Past Feel, and it is a Float type Medabot. As for the medals, it has the Unicorn medal, meaning that it has access to Life Drain, Status Restore, and maybe Useless. Alright, on to the second enemy, the Mega Emperor. It is exactly the same as the ones we previously fought, but it has a different medal. And in fact, it is a medal that we haven't seen yet. So the symbol for the medal is the exclamation point, but I'm going to call it the Surprise medal. It has access to Ultra Shot, Chaos, and Life Drain. And similar to the previous Mega Emperors, it has a full Meta Force gauge, so be careful about that. Luckily though, Baby Blue usually starts a battle with Force Bind, so it actually ends up hurting its own ally. And finally, we have an armor paradigm. So the previous armor paradigms that we fought before had the Knight medal. This one has the Ninja medal, meaning that it has access to Protector, Anti-Protection, and maybe Mobility up. Alright, so strategy. Since the Medaforce is not going to be available for most of the fight, I do plan on dealing some damage with Metabee. Also, if you want, you can use Metabee and Rokusho, because the Mega Emperor doesn't have either the Kabuto or KUWAGATA, meaning that it will not be focusing on either of them. So I'm going to try and deal damage with Metabee. I will be setting up shot traps to take care of the Mega Emperor as quickly as possible. And as for my third Medabot, well, I equipped it with the Maitake arm, which if you're playing the Rokusho version, you can just use any phase lantern part. That way you can make sure that armor paradigm isn't always defending. Because if it is, and it actually manages to use Protector, it can be rather annoying, because it may actually counter you as you're attacking. So this can be a rather long fight, and it can be rather tough. It's not tough in the same way as the Mega Emperor fight, because that is a more straightforward fight. The Mega Emperor simply overwhelms you with power. This one is a bit more tactical. But yeah, I'm going to speed it up, and I'll see you guys in a moment. And welcome back. And we got Fracture, Fast Touch, Fast Feel, and Umbilical. Oh, my poor baby! What? You started this! But more importantly, the self-destruct sequence. That's none of my concern now. Ah, my poor cute little baby. I can't deal with this. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright. So, that was cool. So why did I want to switch over to the Metabee version for this fight? Mostly because it's similar to something that happened in the anime. That's really it. So I think this is more than enough for now. We took out the Mega Emperor and we got ourselves a brand new Medabot. Next time, we'll escape the secret base and warn everybody on the way. See you guys then.